Imagine facing a giant saber-toothed tiger with nothing but a rock. Early humans had no armor, no weapons, and no claws. We were basically a walking happy meal. So, how did we survive? Let's talk about the short-faced bear. If you think a modern grizzly bear is scary, the prehistoric short-faced bear would make a grizzly look like a cute, cuddly toy. When this monster stood on its back legs, it was over 11 feet tall. That is as tall as a one-story building. It could run at speeds of 40 miles per hour, which is faster than a car driving through your neighborhood. And this thing lived at the exact same time as our ancestors. Or what about the Smilodon? That is the scientific name for the saber-toothed tiger. These cats were built like bodybuilders, with arms so incredibly strong they could wrestle a massive wild horse to the ground in seconds. Their teeth were like giant kitchen knives designed to slice through thick skin. And there were packs of dire wolves roaming around, which were basically wolves the size of small horses. Everything wanted to eat us. The invisible shield. When we think about early human weapons, we usually picture a guy throwing a spear. But fighting a giant angry bear with a wooden stick is a terrible idea. Our very first real defense was not a weapon at all. It was a shield, and that shield was fire. For a long time, early humans were terrified of the dark. The night was when the giant cats and massive wolves came out to hunt. Humans could not see in the dark, so they were easy target. But when humans finally figured out how to control fire, everything changed overnight. You see, animals have something called an instinct. An instinct is like a hidden computer program inside an animal's brain that tells it what to do automatically, without even thinking. And almost every single animal on Earth has an instinct to run away from fire. To an animal, fire means extreme danger. It means the forest is burning down. So, when humans started lighting campfires, they created an invisible wall of safety. A giant saber-toothed tiger might be 10 times stronger than a human, but it would not step near those hot flames. For the very first time in history, humans could sleep safely on the ground without getting eaten in the middle of the night. Fire was our ultimate shield, the gross superpower. But you cannot sit by the campfire forever. Eventually, you have to go out into the wild to find food. And this brings us to one of the weirdest facts about the human body. To survive during the day, humans developed a literal superpower. And honestly, it is actually kind of gross. We know how to sweat. I know sweating does not sound like a cool superpower, but in the animal kingdom, it is extremely rare. This superpower is called thermoregulation. Thermoregulation is just a fancy science word that means our bodies can cool down while we are moving. Think about a giant wolf or a massive prehistoric lion. They are covered in super thick fur. When they run fast, they get super hot. Because they have all that fur, they cannot sweat through their skin like we do. To cool down, they have to stop running, find a nice shady spot under a tree, and pant. Panting means breathing heavily through their mouths like a dog. Humans do not have thick fur. We have bare skin covered in millions of tiny holes that let out water. This meant early humans could do something no other predator could do. We did not need to run faster than a deer or a giant predator. We just jogged after them. We would follow an animal for 5, 6, or even 10 hours. Eventually, the animal would just collapse from a heat stroke, too tired to take another step. We literally walked our enemies to death. The danger of a tiny scratch. But avoiding big predators was only half the battle. Back then, you did not need a giant monster to kill you. A tiny little scratch could do it. Today, if you get a cut on your arm, you wash it, put a plastic bandage on it, and completely forget about it. But thousands of years ago, a small scratch from a dirty bush could get infected. An infection is when invisible, tiny bugs called bacteria get inside your body and start destroying it. Without modern medicine or doctors, a simple infection was a slow death sentence. So, how did early humans survive this? They did it by paying very close attention to the animals around them. Humans watched what sick animals did in the wild. They noticed that when certain animals felt sick or got bitten, they would eat specific weird plants or rub themselves in special types of mud. Humans started copying. They figured out that wrapping a wound in certain types of leaves stopped it from getting red and painful. They did not know what bacteria was, but they learned how to make the very first natural medicine through trial and error. A lot of people definitely died testing these dangerous plants, but the ones who survived passed that knowledge down to their kids. the ultimate weapon. But the final reason we did not get eaten is the absolute most important one. Our ultimate weapon was not a sharp rock. It was not fire, and it was not sweating. Our ultimate weapon was each other. If you put one human alone in a forest with a giant bear, the human is going to lose 100% of the time. But if you put 50 humans in a forest, they become the most dangerous force on the planet. This is because humans developed complex communication. Communication means we can share detailed information and plans with each other. A pack of wolves can bark or howl to say, "I am over here," or "attack right now." But humans could sit around a fire and say, "Tomorrow morning, you three go hide in the tall grass. We will chase the giant animal toward you, and then you jump out and scare it off the cliff." No other animal on Earth could plan for the future like that. We learned how to build traps. We learned how to dig giant holes in the ground and cover them with thin branches so massive beasts would fall right in. We used our brains to completely outsmart creatures that were much stronger than us. Conclusion. So, why didn't the giant monsters eat us? Because we cheated. We used fire to break the rules of nature. We used sweating to run for hours without ever stopping. And we used incredible teamwork to turn our weak little bodies into a massive, organized army. In the end, the giant predators never stood a chance. We were the real monsters all along. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more crazy facts about wild history and nature, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments below. If you were sent back in time with no weapons, how long do you think you would survive? See you in the next video.